Post 2, September 8th, 2010. I'm going to post what happened and link the video footage, but last night everything got too real for me. I think I'm done messing around with this. I passed out pretty much immediately after making that thread. But last night, that elegy of emptiness statue, I had a dream about it. I dreamed that it was following me in my dream, that I'll be minding my own business when I'd feel my neck hair standing up on end. I would turn around and that thing, that horrible, lifeless statue, would be staring with those empty eyes right at me, merely inches away. In my dream, I remember calling it Ben, and never before had I had a dream that I could remember so vividly. But the important thing is, I did get some sleep, I suppose. Today, putting off playing the game for as long as I could, I drove back up to that neighbourhood to see if the old man came back. As expected, the car was still gone and no one was home. As I was walking back to my car, the man next door, mowing the grass, killed the power to his lawnmower and asked me if I was looking for someone. I told him that I was looking to talk to the old man that lived here, to which he told me what I already knew. He was moving. Trying a different avenue, I asked if the old man had any family or relatives I could talk to. I discovered that this old man had never been married, nor did he have any children or grandchildren through adoption. Starting to become worried, I asked one final question. One that I should have asked from the beginning. Who was Ben? The man's expression turned grim, and I learned that 4 doors down, around 8 years ago, on April 23rd, the man informed me that it was the same day as his anniversary. That's how he knows the specific date. There was an accident with a young boy named Ben in a neighbourhood. Shortly after, his parents moved, and despite any further attempts to talk to the man to get more information, he wouldn't divulge anything else. I went back and started playing again. I loaded up the game, and immediately I jumped at the title screen where the mask flies by. The sound that played was not the normal whoosh sound. It was something much more higher pitched. I pressed start, bracing for the worst, but just like 2 nights ago, the files Your Turn and Ben were displayed. Truth be told, I looked at the Ben file earlier. It seems to fluctuate between displaying the hour save and not. I brought up the Ben file, hesitated for a moment, noticing that the stats were not the same as they originally were 2 days ago. It seemed like he had already completed the Stone Tower Temple this time. Summoning my courage, I selected it. Immediately, I was thrust into complete chaos. Sure enough, I was outside Stone Tower Temple, but that's about all that was expected. The zone itself wasn't called Stone Tower Temple, but rather STONE, and immediately a dialogue box of complete gibberish that I couldn't make out greeted me. Link's body was distorted. His back was cocked violently to the side, where his posture was permanently disfigured. Link's expression was dull, almost monotonous. He had an expression on his face that I didn't recognize before. It was a blank look, as if he was dead. As Link stood there, his body spasmed irregularly, back and forth. I examined what had become of my avatar and noticed I had a C button item I'd never seen before. Some kind of note, but pressing it did nothing. Sounds played back and forth that I didn't recognize from the game, almost demonic in nature, and there was some kind of high-pitched yip or some kind of laugh or something playing in the background. I had all of 2 minutes to take in the environment before another one of those fucking Elegy of Emptiness statues was summoned, and immediately I was cut into the Dawn of a New Day screen, except this time it was without the 11111 subtext. I was a Deku scrub in Clocktown. This scene would normally play after the first time you travelled back in time. Turtle would say, "Well, what just happened? It's as if everything has..." But instead of saying "started over," she finished her remark in broken text as the laugh of the happy masked salesman played in the background. I was put back in control of my character, but from a fucked up camera angle. I was looking from behind the door to the clock tower, watching my avatar run around as a Deku scrub. Seeing as how I really had no place to go because I couldn't see anything, I begrudgingly went inside the door. There, I was greeted by the happy masked salesman, who simply told me, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" before the screen whited out. I was in Termina Field as a human again. I might as well not have been playing the same game anymore. I was being warped around, and there was no sign of a day clock or anything. I took a moment to get my bearings as I looked around the field, and immediately I could tell that this was not normal. There were no enemies, and a twisted version of the Happy Mask Salesman theme was playing. I decided to run towards Woodfall before I noticed a gathering of 3 figures off to the side, one of them being Epona. As I approached them, to my horror, I saw the Happy Mask Salesman, the Skull Kid, and the Elegy of Emptiness statue just standing there. I figured maybe they were bugged out, but by now I told myself that I should know better. Nevertheless, I approached them carefully and found that the Skull Kid was playing some kind of idle animation on loop. Same with Epona, and the Elegy of Emptiness statue was doing what it had been doing all along, just standing there eerily. It was the Happy Mask Salesman that scared me more profoundly than the other 2. He too was idle, wearing that shit-eating grin, but wherever I moved, his head slowly turned and followed me. I had not engaged in any dialogue with him, nor was I in combat with him, yet his head still continued to follow my movements. Reminded of my first encounter with Skull Kid on top of the clock tower, I pulled out my ocarina, to which the game played the ding sound when you're supposed to play your ocarina, and tried a song I hadn't played yet. The Happy Mask Salesman's own song, and the song that had been playing on loop back in day 4, the Song of Healing. I finished playing the song, and as I did, an ear-piercing shriek blasted on my TV. The sky immediately started flashing. The Happy Mask Salesman's twisted theme song sped up, intensifying the fear inside me, and Link exploded into flames and died. The 3 figures stayed lit up during my death screen as they watched my lifeless body burn. I can't describe to you how sudden and terrifying the transition from eerie to terror is. You're going to have to watch the video if you want to see firsthand. That same fear that caused me to lose sleep 2 days ago started to grip me again, as I was met with the text, "You've met with a horrible fate, haven't you?" for the 3rd time. There has to be some kind of meaning behind that. I had little time to ponder, as I was immediately given another small cutscene of transforming into a Zora, and now I've found myself in Great Temple Bay. Hesitant but curious to see what the game had in store for me, I slowly made my way towards the beach, where I found Epona. I wondered why the game had decided to put her here. Was the game implying she was trying to get a drink? Unable to take the mask off, I decided that riding the steed wasn't the reason she was placed there. Suddenly I realised that Epona kept neighing, and the way she was angled made it look like she was trying to signal a point to me off in the distance. It was a hunch, but I dove into a great bay and started swimming. Sure enough, I almost missed it. I found something at the bottom of the ocean. One last Elegy of Emptiness statue. I went down to examine it, and suddenly my Zora started doing a choking animation I'd never seen a Zora do before. Which didn't even make sense because Zoras can breathe underwater. Regardless, my character choked to death and died. And again, the statue was the only thing that was highlighted in my death. I didn't respawn this time. I was booted back to the main menu, as if I restarted the console. The press start screen was before me. I knew the only reason why it would put me here is because the save files had changed again. Taking a deep breath, I pressed start. And I was right. The new save files told me about Ben. Now it made sense why the statue appeared when I tried to go to the laundry pool. The game must have anticipated how I would have tried to escape the day 4 clock town. The 2 save files told me his fate. As I suspected, Ben was dead. He drowned. The game obviously isn't through with me. It taunts me with the new save files. It wants me to keep playing. Wants me to go further. But I'm done with this shit. I'm not touching any more of the files. This is already way too horrifying for me. And I don't even believe in the paranormal. But I'm running out of explanations. Why would someone send me this message? I don't understand it. I just get too depressed thinking about this. The footage is up here for those who want to see it and try to analyse it. Maybe there's some kind of coded message in the gibberish or something symbolic in what I went through. I'm too emotionally, mentally drained to fuck with it anymore. Pose number 3, September 10th, 2010. I know it's early in the morning. I've stayed up all night. I can't sleep. I don't care if people see this. That's not the point. I just want the word to get spread, so I don't suffer for nothing. I've lost the will to type about this. The less I dwell on this, the better. I think the video just speaks for itself. I did what you guys told me to do. I played the Elegy of Emptiness song at the first prompt by the game I was given. But I think that's what the game, or Ben, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm even humouring the absurd idea that exists in the game, wanted me to do. He's following me now. Not just in the game, he's in my dreams. I see him all the time, behind my back, just watching me. I haven't gone to any of my classes. I've stayed in my dorm room with the windows closed and the blinds shut. That way, I know he can't watch me. But he still gets me when I play. When I play, he can still see me. The game is scaring me now. It talked to me for the first time. Not just using text that's already in the game. It spoke to me. Talked to me. It referenced Ben. It talked to me. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it wants. I never wanted this. I just want my old life back. Stuff like this doesn't happen to people like me. I'm just a kid. I'm not even old enough to drink yet. It's not fair. I want to go home. I want to see my parents again. I'm so far away from home here at this school. I just want to hug my mum again. I just want to forget that statue's horrible blank face. My original game file is back. Just the way I left it before it was gone. I don't want to play anymore. I feel like something bad will happen if I don't, but that's impossible. It's a video game. Haunted or not, it can't hurt me. Right? Like, seriously though, it can't, right? That's what I keep telling myself. But every time I think about it, I'm not so sure. Post number 4, September 12th, 2010. Let me just clear things up. I know you guys are worried about Jadusable. He's okay. He finished moving out today, and he said he's going back home. He's just taking the semester off. I'm not really sure what's happened. I have a vague idea, but you guys probably know more than I do. I'm Jadusable's roommate, and obviously I knew something was wrong with him for a few days. He stayed in his room all the time, fell out of contact with literally all of his friends, and I'm pretty sure he hadn't been eating hardly anything. After the second day, I couldn't stay in there anymore. So I've been crashing at a buddy's place, only coming into my room to get stuff that I need. I tried talking to him several times, but he would cut me off or keep the conversation brief when I asked him about his strange behaviour. It's like he was convinced something was hunting him. Yesterday, I came to grab my philosophy book and he approached me, looking awful, like horrible bags under his eyes. He handed me a flash drive and gave me specific instructions. He told me that he needs me to do one last favour for him. He finally explained to me what's been going on, gave me the account info to his YouTube account, and told me that he's getting away from here, that it lured him to play it again, instead of trying to change things, and that he shouldn't have done that, and to upload the footage and inform people what happened. I told him he could do it himself, and he got this wild look in his eye and told me he's never looking at the game again. And that's the last thing he said to me. He never even said bye when his parents came to pick him up. I never even got to meet his parents. I honestly can't tell you what happened. When he spoke, it was kind of hard to understand him, and his fucked up appearance really distracted me. On the flash drive, there was the footage of the game last night, a text document with his name and password for YouTube, and a third document called TheTruth.txt, containing what he told me were his notes that he'd taken. He told me that this meant everything to him, that I follow his instructions exactly. Normally I wouldn't be so to the letter for a request over a fucking video game, but the way he spoke and the way he looked at me made me know this was really serious, and I'm going to honour that. I've had this video since yesterday, but I had to have someone help me use Pinnacle. That's not really my forte. But after watching it, I had to go back through and look at his other videos on his YouTube account to realise what was going on. And even then I'm really confused. The video I'm releasing tonight, TheTruth.txt, will be released on September 15th, just like he requested. I haven't dared peek at it yet, so the first time I see it will be the first time you see it, out of respect to my friend. To answer your questions, no, I haven't tried calling him yet. I think I'll give him a call tomorrow to see if he's okay or not. He should have gotten back home by now. About the video. In this video, I cut straight to when he loaded the Ben file in the game. Looking back, I realised that Jadusable left the save select screen in because it said different names sometimes, so my bad for that. But all it said this time was the same at the end of his last video, Link and Ben, nothing different. I wasn't there when he played it, but it looks to me like in the beginning, when he first spawns, he's testing out his equipment, or seeing what items he has or something, because apparently they've changed randomly before. And after that, I think the game just got too personal for him. Post number 5, September 15th, 2010. Hey guys, Jadusable here. This will be the last time you'll be hearing from me, and this, my final gift to you. These are the notes that I have taken and the realizations I've made. Before I delve into this, I want to thank you for following me and thank you for listening. It feels like the weight of a powerful burden is about to be lifted. By the time you read this, I won't be around anymore, but after spending 4 days with this maddening game, I've begun to understand what's really at play here. And hopefully, after reading this, we can ensure that this never happens again. There are things that I could not share with you while this was going on, due to the circumstances to which I'll explain. With Ben blocking any attempt I made to try and relay truth to you, I tried, ever so subtly, to warn you guys in various ways. Amidst the chaos and my delirium, I devised a make of barely noticeable pattern in my videos. In all 5 videos I recorded over the 4 days, I have either had the mask of truth, interacted with the gossip stone, or the lens of truth equipped at some point. For you Zelda enthusiasts, these are all symbols of honesty and trustworthiness, and I would hope that one of you may have picked up on the reference. As I played the file, which I would name Ben, being mindful of how Ben was watching over my every move in the game, I made a point to avoid doing anything too obvious. But I sent out a hidden message to you guys. I never equipped the lens, nor the mask, nor visited a stone. It worked, and the video was uploaded. I prayed that somebody would notice the pattern didn't apply to Ben. The tags followed suit too. I hope you guys paid attention to those as well. They were my little messages to you. Nothing big enough that would catch Ben's attention or make him suspect anything. With Ben manipulating and changing my files, I honestly hope that what you guys saw was close to what actually happened. But there's no way for me to know. This may be a long read. I don't have time to proofread or make all of my research pretty. But here it all is. September 6th, 2010, 11 PM. Can't believe what happened. Not sure if this is some kind of elaborate hoax. Despite the fear, I can't help but be exceptionally curious about this. Who or what is the statue? Lots of questions here. I'm starting this document as a diary, so I can keep track of everything. I'm typing up a summary of what happened, so I can come back to it later. September 7th, 2010. 2:10 AM. Summary was posted here. You can go back and look at my first post for day4.wmv for that. 4:23 AM. I can't sleep. I've been trying so hard, but the harder I try, I just get more restless. I just feel like that statue is appearing whenever I close my eyes. 8:20 AM. Didn't sleep at all. Just gonna start my day. I don't think I have the energy to go back to class today. I'm gonna drive back down to talk to that old man, taking my buddy Tyler with me just in case. 1:18 PM. Back home now. No sign of the old man. Really weird that he appears to be moving the next day. But maybe the for sale sign was up there yesterday and I just didn't notice it. Tyler wants to know what's gotten me all worked up. I didn't tell him. Going to eat. Feel like death. 3:46 PM. Could have sworn driving back from Subway that I saw the elegy statue buried in some shrubbery staring at me go by. Now I definitely need sleep. 5 PM. Don't think a lot of people would believe me if I told them about what's happening. Think I'm going to try posting this on the internet. Think I'll just use the summary. These notes are pretty sporadic. 6 PM. Connected my capture card to my computer to upload the footage. Thought my computer froze for a second. Made this strange popping sound when I hooked everything up. But now it seems to be working fine again. My computer can't dial me now. 7 PM. Footage is finished uploading. The quality is a lot better than I thought it would be. Gee, guess this is a really special cartridge. I've never had it come through this clear before. 8:45 PM. Thought I saw an icon pop up on my desktop that looked like the statue's face for a split second. Gave me quite a scare. Getting really unnerved and delirious. I'm going to crash after this. 9 PM. Begin uploading my YouTube video on an alternate account. 9:03 PM. I don't remember having uploaded a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines video last year. This was probably the account that I shared with a friend of mine last summer. I hope he doesn't mind me using it to upload this. 9:55 PM. Posting my summary of day 4 with a link to the YouTube video. Going to try and stay awake, but I am so tired right now. September 8th, 2010. 10:48 AM. I had a dream about the statue. I dreamed that it was following me in my dream. That I'd be minding my own business when I feel my neck hair stand up on end. I would turn around. That thing, that horrible, lifeless statue, would be staring with those empty eyes right at me, merely inches away. In my dream, I remember calling it Ben. Power of suggestion, most likely. And never before had I had a dream that I can remember so vividly. 11:21 AM. I really don't want to play this game again. I think I'm going to go back to see if that old man's there instead. 1:35 PM. No old man. But I had an interesting conversation with his neighbour. I'll post the full thing in my summary of tonight's attempt at playing the game. Going to wait for a bit though, and see if I can't dig up any information on this Ben guy. 2:45 PM. I've been getting random inexplicable headaches due to lack of sleep, and keep hearing that song in my head. Also, it's flu season, so I need to be careful not to get sick. My immune system is going to be shit right now because of that all-nighter. 3 PM. 3:02 PM. My computer just, on its own, opened up a text document and wrote the words "Hi" and www.cleverbot.com by itself. What the fuck? 3:46 PM. I went to the website. It's one of those bot chatting programs. I think it's best if I just let the conversation speak for itself. The September the 8th, 2010 conversation. Hello?
Hello,
Who is this, and how are you able to control my computer?
who am I?
Right, forgot, you're a bot.
Do you really think that?
Listen, I know whoever's fucking with my computer can see my screen right now.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll wager that you're one of those IT kids who thinks he's tough shit. You know what you're doing is illegal, right?
Is it?
No shit. Are you familiar with the terms invasion of privacy? Get the fuck off my computer, kid.
I am your computer.
Cool story. Anyway, I'm calling DPS. You picked a bad time to fuck with me, kid.
Should I wait until you play the game then?
What?
That game?
Majora's Mask?
Yes.
How did you know about that?
Because
Because what?
I did it.
Did what?
I played with you.
What the fuck?
Were you scared?
Who the fuck is this?
Ben?
The statue? You're inside my computer now.
Yes.
How?
You connected me.
How the hell did I connect you?
Cables and cords.
How?
Tell me about yourself.
What?
Tell me about yourself.
What do you mean?
What is it that really scares you?
What the fuck?
Answer.
No.
Answer.
What the fuck? How the fuck did you just open that by yourself?
I am your computer now.
How much can you control?
All
What do you want from me?
to entertain.
You're stuck inside there. You can't hurt me.
Ha! Go play.
No. You can't hurt me.
Took you longer to type that.
So?
You're not sure.
If you're so powerful, then why use a ridiculous website like this to chat with me?
Less messy, more structured. Fun.
Fun?
Yes. Tradition. I like it.
You think it's funny?
Amusing.
And my notes?
You may write them down.
Why are you letting me?
It is amusing to see what you think of me.
Window closes. 3:50 p.m. What have I done? I've invited it into my computer. I continue to write these notes, write my summaries. I feel like I'm a prisoner in my one place of security. I don't know. I don't know if I'm hallucinating or not. I feel like I'm fucking insane right now. I can feel it, watching over me, even as I type this. Ben is controlling everything in the game, toying with me, leading me like a sheep. But for what? What's the purpose? I know Ben drowned. But why these hauntings? What the fuck am I even doing? It can probably even see this right now. 4:35 p.m. Summary of the ben.wmv playthrough. 7:18 p.m. Ben called me to Cleverbot again. He tells me that he's sorry and wants to be free, and that I can free him. Just like how he got on my computer from the capture card. He can spread, but he needs my help. He says I'm special because I can help him. That is the first nice thing he said to me. He promises to leave me alone if I do. He swears he will. I don't know what to think right now. How can I even trust this thing? 7:20 p.m. I'm terrified of it, but now it's saying that it was just having fun. It's twisted and fucked up version of fun. He's saying that the game is over. I do want it to be over. He says that he just wants to be free, that he's strapped in the cartridge and my computer, and he wants to be freed. I don't want to have to deal with this shit. I don't know how long I can deal with the watching. It's watching my every move, every keystroke. I have nothing private anymore. It knows everything that's been on my computer. It tells me that if it wanted to, it could do horrible things to me. But it hasn't, so I should trust it. 8:01 p.m. Something tells me that I'm being played again, just like in the game. 9:29 p.m. Ben called me to Cleverbot again. I ignored it and went to go take a shower. When I came to my laptop, I was welcomed with an image. An elegy statue, staring at me with those dead eyes. I don't want to talk to him. 9:44 p.m. Fuck you, Ben. I'm not talking to you. 9:56 p.m. Fuck you, Ben. I'm not talking. 10:06 p.m. Fuck you, Ben. I'm not talking to you. 10:12 p.m. Fuck you, Ben. I'm not talking to you. 10:45 p.m. It's been more than a half an hour, and the messages have stopped. Ben has stopped. I'm beginning to think that Ben isn't confined to just my computer or my cartridge. I'm beginning to feel something. It's hard to explain it. I've never been spiritual, but there is something different about the air in my dorm room now. 11:42 p.m. I'm beginning to see the elegy statue randomly as I search the internet in places I shouldn't. Places where he shouldn't be. I'd be scrolling down and suddenly I'd be staring at a picture of the elegy statue. Always the elegy statue. I don't know how much more of this I can take. September 9th, 2010. 12:35 a.m. My worst fears confirmed. Ben has tampered with my summary of pen.wmv. I looked at the summary that I posted on various forums for pen.wmv file, and parts have been omitted. There is no mention of Ben existing outside the game. There is no mention of the Moon Children. How could he have been that quick to delete the post without me noticing? I'm wondering if maybe it appeared to me that I was posting everything, but in reality, Ben was posting his own censored version. I'm going to ask Ben why he did it. 12:50 a.m. He isn't responding to me on Cleverbot. It's just giving the generic response as it usually does. I'm just talking to a bot this time. 1:24 a.m. I think Ben is mad at me. 10:43 a.m. The Moon Children appeared in my dreams last night. They lifted up their masks to reveal their hideously disfigured faces. Maggots crawling out of their orifices. Sunken black holes where their eyes should be. A yellow smile that slowly grew bigger and bigger as they came closer to me. They told me that they wanted to play. I tried to run from them, but the 4 children pinned me down to the ground with surprising strength. Over them stood the happy mask salesman, announcing that he had a new mask that he wanted me to try. In his spastic, sudden movements matching his in-game appearance, he took out a mask model of someone's face that I couldn't recognize. A younger-looking face, and handed it to the Moon Children. Giggling, they latched it to my face. Their horrible, broken bodies bouncing up and down. 2 of them held me down, while the other 2 began to sew the mask onto my face. My shrieks and screams caused the happy mask salesman's face to turn into the most horrific smile I had ever seen. He sporadically moved around, examining this procedure like a curious doctor, in that impossible movement. I flailed around, but it was no use. My eyes rolled into the back of my head because of the pain. It felt so real, but I couldn't wake up. I couldn't wake up no matter how hard I tried. I couldn't wake up. After the mask was melded onto my flesh, they began sewing my legs together, then my arms. The horrific feeling of a needle puncturing your legs and pulling them in, rupturing your Achilles tendon, and tying them together, resonated throughout my entire body. I tried to scream, but the mask was pressed so tightly against my face that it was my new face, and my new face had no mouth. I didn't make a sound. I tried telling myself in my head that I was dreaming. Tried telling myself again and again. And suddenly, the moon children stopped and looked at me. They just stared. And the happy masked salesman slowly bent down and stared at me, inches away from my face, and grinned when he simply said, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" Before the moon children resumed with increased vigor. I couldn't wake up. I couldn't wake up. It wouldn't let me wake up until they had crafted me into another elegy statue. I woke up sweating, crying, and shaking uncontrollably. I immediately ran to my computer and went for Ben. September 9th, 2010, Conversation 1. Answer me, Ben.
Welcome back.
What is the point of doing this? Why?
I'm using to see.
How?
Fun to play. Fun to toy with you. Make you feel safe. I wonder how you would have reacted
To what?
if I hadn't revealed myself and stayed hidden, only doing little things to play with you. Close out your windows, turn off your computer, move your mouse by itself. Little things make you wonder if I am there, but you never know. Give you little hints that I am. I wanted to do something different with you.
You did this before?
Yes, and I will do it again.
To who, Ben? Did you know, Ben?
Won't tell that information to you.
How did Ben die?
You know.
No. But how did he drown?
Won't tell that to you.
Why?
It is reserved for another.
Who?
Another who asks.
When?
Later.
The window is closed. I'm beginning to think that this thing maybe isn't Ben at all. In its sadistic nature, I wouldn't be surprised if it took the boy's name after it killed him. 12:04 p.m. My room is beginning to feel different again. There's something out there. I feel really threatened. Like there is something that is trying to reach out to me and strangle me. But it can't quite get there. 12:46 p.m. I think Ben doesn't want to play with me anymore. I'll play again. I'll play the game again. Ben, can you see this? I'll play the game again. Please. Just stop this. Please. Please. 1:41 p.m. I'm going insane, trying to decide what is real and what isn't. Is Ben just playing a trick on me, or is this for real? Is Ben generating these replies, or are people actually posting them? Did I just see that screen flicker, or was it my imagination? Imagine depending on the internet and trusting your eyes for your entire life and then being blinded. You can't rely on it anymore. You second guess everything. For the brief moments I am looking at my responses to the video, people were pointing out things that looked fake or photoshopped or whatever. And there's literally no way for me to know if Ben changed something on purpose to try and shut me up. Or if maybe those replies were just constructed by Ben to try and discourage me from even reaching out. See? I get fucking caught in an infinite mindfuck loop like this. And this is what has been wearing on my sanity and pushing me to the edge. As I'm writing this, there's no way of even telling if anyone even cares as much as I think they do. Just another fucking trick. Is this whole document real? Am I writing nothing? September 9th, 2010, Conversation 2. What is it? What's the point of playing? I die whenever I do anything.
You die because you can't figure out the secret.
What?
Thematic.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The beauty in your suffering.
The window is closed. 4:09 p.m. Ben is making me play the game again. It tells me that it has something very important to show me. 6:23 p.m. Summary of the Drowned.wmv playthrough. 9:09 p.m. Summary of Children.wmv playthrough. September 10th, 2010. 11:52 a.m. The Drowned.wmv playthrough was up when I woke up today. I remember typing it up, but I don't ever remember posting it. He censored it again. There is no mentioning of the old man. I have no voice anymore. I'm only posting what he wants me to. I am the mask he uses to disguise himself as he lies. 11:55 a.m. There's an entire video summary of a video that I don't remember doing. Reading through the summary, this sounds morbid, resembling my dream from 2 nights ago, except on a far more sadistic scale. These moon children, there's something more to them, almost as if they're another entity from Ben. Something happened last night that I can't remember. I'm posting the 4th summary to the forums now. Shadow of my chair moved. 12 p.m. Ben won't let me visit YouTube. I can browse the rest of the sites, but he keeps on exiting the window when I go to YouTube. Why? 2:02 p.m. I'm feeling the air start to constrict. I don't think I'm alone here. Whenever Aura has been here, is getting more violent. 2:44 p.m. I'm trying to contact Ben on Cleverbot. He's not responding. I just get the AI. 3:51 p.m. My ears aren't fooling me. I'm hearing the reverse song of healing. I keep hearing it. 4:23 p.m. Now I'm positive of it. Earlier I thought it was a weird coincidence, but just now I went to open my window and 3 floors down, at ground level, I saw the old man. I'm completely positive I did. The same guy. He was just staring up at my window, standing in the middle of campus. If any students took notice of him, they didn't seem to acknowledge it. That's where my notes end. I fled my room, taking the cartridge with me. I don't want to go into details of what happened. I'll lose my train of thought as I hammer out these last details. It's been roughly 2 days since then. This is my last summary and service to you of the final video you guys saw. Matt.wmv. The last video entry I made, Matt.wmv, began as normal. I was spawned in Clocktown, as usual, and nothing seemed to be out of place. Determined to set things right and play the Oath to Order on top of the clock tower on the 4th day, I prepared myself. I sped up time and got to the final day, making my way to the observatory. As I got up to the telescope room and approached the astronomer, he would not let me look into his telescope. He told me that it would be cheating and that I should follow the rules. Despite my repeated efforts, the game would not let me do the 4th day glitch, no matter how hard or what I tried. I tried working around the game and doing the glitch, but it was adamant this time. Regardless of if I simply had the illusion of free will in prior games, this time, the game became more aggressive than anything I've ever seen. It eventually told me to go to the Icana Canyon, where the game would end and it would stop haunting me. Anxious and desperate to end this nightmare, I played the Song of Soaring and ended up there. I was told to check my inventory, that I would find the answers there to end the game. I arrived at Icana Canyon and saved my progress at the owl statue. As I searched through my inventory, I finally noticed I was missing a recurring song. The Elegy of Emptiness. Obviously, once I travelled there and learned the song, I suppose that was the last thing it needed before Ben decided it had had enough fun playing with me. Ben is a manipulator. He tries to fool his victims into a false sense of security and makes you drop your guard. Like a Venus flytrap, he ensnares them. I am nothing but a puppet to him. He enjoys seeing what kind of human emotions he can tap into by doing different things. There are still some things about this whole experience that still don't make sense. But then again, I never was good at figuring out these things, and I'm not exactly in the right state of mind to. I'm giving you all the pieces of the puzzle for you to analyse and piece together. I'm typing these closing thoughts on the library computer on campus, and I've emailed myself the notes I have stored on my infected computer from the last 4 days. I'm then going to combine those copy-pastes, those notes, with the closing openings that I've typed here on the safe public computer, all into one text document. I'm not taking any chances spreading Ben. I would not wish this horrible torment on anyone. And I've made sure to have my bases covered here. I didn't run into any problems with Ben when I was back on my computer trying to email myself the notes. Went right under his fucking nose. He has no idea what he just let me do. Had no problems opening the text document from my infected computer in my email either. I can't describe to you how it feels to finally be able to get the word out in this post. The nightmare ends here. That said, do not download any of my videos or anything about my videos through a YouTube video, audio ripper, screen grab, whatever. I don't know how it can spread, but I know that just watching them on YouTube or reading my texts won't be able to allow him to spread. Otherwise, he wouldn't have needed my help in the first place. But I strongly recommend you do not take anything you see streaming online onto your own personal computer. This will be my last posting. I'm putting it up on this forum here for the world to see. If you see any further posts from me after today's current date, September 12th, and after the current time, 12:08 AM, discredit them. It already has proven to me that Ben can access my account and password and manipulate my computer. And like I said, I have no idea to what extent it can do this, but know that it will do anything to break free. He is desperate. To ensure your safety, just forget about me, please. And obviously, this goes without saying. But from here on out, do not download any images I may have put up, any files, anything. This 5th day will be my last. I'm going to burn the cartridge and then come back to destroy my laptop. Again, even though I don't even know you, this is sort of bittersweet for me. This semester, I really didn't have any friends. Or rather, I stopped paying attention to them. But I suppose I'm partially to blame, because I am the genius who picked to live in a single. I guess if someone were to get hold of me and save me before I got too immersed into this game, they would have literally saved my life. However, it proved too much for me. I'm just glad it happened to me, and I could get the warning out so that Ben dies here. Lastly, thank you for taking the time to open this and open yourselves up to me by hearing my story. Despite maybe not believing me. You didn't have to do that, really. You shouldn't have. Your support this entire time has kept me going. And now I'm finally free of this. Thanks again, Jadusable.